This is it. This is the moment we've been so excited about. After we have been looking for years and years for something to upgrade our van with, you will find out in a minute. This is it. It's here. So I'm going to open it. Which of course is taking longer than you would expect it to. And in here we have two things for the camper van. One is a composting toilet. The kind guys at Boxio have sent us a composting toilet to try. Very excited. Look at the size of it. That is going to go brilliantly in the camper van. And to go with it, we have a sink with a tap, which of course we have to put together. Boxio bags for the loo, lids, shaker jug for the Boxio hemp for the composting bit. That's it. We'll unpack it all and we'll build them up one by one. So this is it. This is the contents of the composting toilet. As you can see, everything is beautifully branded with the Boxio logos, even the little clips there. Now this is the urine container, obviously. It will be attached to the toilet like so. And this lid is for when you're using it and moving around in the van. And then this lid is for when you're taking it out and taking it away for emptying. Also, there's a plug for when you're travelling to stop anything from sloshing about. So, next, the poo bin, obviously. We've got bags, special Boxio bags. Obviously, compostable bags, lovely green colour. They go in there. And once that's all in the box, obviously that will be sitting there. And then again, you've got a lid to keep the smells away. And after use, you put that in and it helps with the composting process. That will live in there, not to be confused with your cereal shaker. Don't know which way it will go. But anyway, you'll be shaking it in to there after you've used it. These little bits make the hinges, and then these little bits add the bottom bit, which makes it a little bit taller and also allows you to keep these bits in, and everything's tidy. Assembly couldn't be simpler. We have a screw with an Allen key hole in the end. Then we have like a hollow screw. They've probably got a proper name, but I don't know. And then we've got a little washer. And all that happens is, I'll go to this one so you can see it first off. So that goes in that little hole there. The washer then goes on there. And then this screws on. Nice and easy. And then we've got another washer to use as a screwdriver on the inside, and then the Allen key there, tighten it up, and that's it. One in, 3 more to go. There. So next stop is the poo box. Hidden obviously down the side, and then come on, go in. Make sure the bag's in properly for obvious reasons. Then the urine container, which needs a lid on, the using lid as opposed to the emptying lid. There we go. Then we have the seat, obviously goes that way around, and then these, not only do they hold everything in place, but they act as a hinge as well, so you can get at that quite easily and you can get at that quite easily. And then the little plug goes in the hole, clinks into place, there we go. And then the lid goes on and we're all sorted. You know when you think you've got everything covered and then you look in the box and you find a piece of string? The instruction manual came out at this point and here we are. It makes a hinge. So this end of the box has got 2 holes, as has the lid. We pop the string in here, which again is going to be one of those fiddly jobs. There's one bit. And the second bit goes in there and in there. Then you tie knots in them to make it quite taut, and it acts as a hinge. Okay, the string is on. There we go, we've got a nice hinge. Obviously we're going to trim this at a later date when we know we've got it right and we don't need to undo it again. In addition to the Boxio toilet, which you can have as a standalone thing, you can buy the Boxio Up, which is just a little bit of the same Euro container that you will then add that onto, and it just makes it into a taller toilet. But also a storage unit for the Boxio Shake, which has got the hemp in it, a spare bag of hemp, and your Boxio bags as well. So this just clips on with a cleverly logoed Boxio clip. It clips on just like that, and that is in the wrong place, but it will hold it all together. There are 6 of these. They go all the way around. Stop it jiggling about. There we go. Boxio done. Now, if I can put it together, anybody can.
So we've got our Boxio toilet and sink. Obviously they fit, well, it depends on what configuration you've got in the van as to where you put them. At the moment we've just got them in the back because we haven't got a lot of stuff in the back. Well, we are going away to Europe next week, so that's going to change what we do with that. If you've got a rack system in the van, then these are going to be ideal just to pull out. And with this one, of course, we've got the sink, which will show you a little bit more in a little bit. So if you're having a barbecue or you've got a back tailgate setup, then it's absolutely superb because it's all enclosed. You've got your fresh water for the tap, and you've also got a 5 litre container for the drain as well. So that's pretty good. And then here we've got the toilet with the up box on the bottom, and obviously we're going to be using this in the van and in the awning, depending on where we're camping, whether we're wild camping or somewhere else where we can put the awning up. So this is the Boxio toilet. It's not been used. So it's obviously just a case of lifting the lid up, and if you look in here, here we've got the number 2 container, and down here, you see that? We've actually got a plug that stops any pee going anywhere when we're travelling. There is also a separate lid that you can put into, that you can put onto here when we're travelling. Obviously this one fits in there with that seal, and then when it's all down, that plug will actually stop it from spilling anywhere. And obviously there's a lid for the number 2s as well. And then over here, which you haven't seen before, and we have already set it up, but this is the Boxio sink, which I think is fantastic. Now if I just show you, I've got a little plug. If I just show you what's going on here. So we've got the main tap there, which has got quite a bit of power really. Plunger there. So if we lift this up, in here, we're keeping everything in here. We've got a little strainer, so if Kath's washing her hair, she can put that into the sink and we can collect all the hair. We've got a cap here which goes onto the water when we're taking it to fill it up and empty it. And we've got one here which has got an indent in. That will sit during transit. That will sit underneath where the plug drains into there, so that'll tighten and seal and stop anything coming out of the grey water tank in there. So it's all self-contained, which is fantastic. Just put the plug in, just take the plug out so it drains. And I have got muddy hands because we are on a muddy site today. So if I wash my hands, say it comes out fairly strong. Depends on how much pressure you've got in there, because obviously you've got a little plunger here, and you just, depending on how much water you've got in the tank, you just pump that until there's pressure in there, and away you go. And obviously we're going to be using this with the Boxio toilet, so that if we're out of the van, if we're in the awning, come out in the evening or whenever we need to, and we've got somewhere to wash our hands, we don't have to go back into the van and use the sink, which I think is fantastic. Once we've finished with it, obviously we can put the plug in, or put the various lids on depending on what we're doing. This pulls out, sits down, this pulls out, sits down, the lid goes down, put it back away, and you're ready to go. Absolutely brilliant. So simple, brilliant. So using the toilet is fairly self-explanatory, of course. Now it's a separator toilet, so it's which separates the urine from the poo. That means that when you apply the hemp, it dries everything out. You haven't got sewage, you haven't got the smell, and it's a lot easier to get rid of just urine, as I mean most blokes have had a pee next to a tree, so you can pour that carefully, obviously anywhere really, either down a drain, onto a field, by a tree, and when we're using this, prior to using it, we get some of the hemp, we sprinkle it into the bottom, sit down, do our business. When we've finished, sprinkle some more on that, and that helps dry everything out.
The maximum temperature the Boxio allows you to put water in at is 40 degrees. Now you can put the water in your freshwater tank, but for ease we use the kettle. So we're going to put some cold water in first from the tank, and then adjust the temperature with the hot from the kettle. And then plug out, away it goes.
So we've got the Boxio toilet in the van. Still haven't used it, by the way. Now our normal chemical toilet went in here, just slid in there. Now this one slides in quite nicely, but it's very, very slightly too long, so we can't shut the tambour door. But it's out the way, so it doesn't matter, and it's not going to come out. It's absolutely solid in there. Excuse the pun. We do have the lift that lifts the toilet up, of course, the Boxio lift. That will probably stay in the boot when we're travelling everywhere, because to be honest, if we're only stopping for a pee or something, it doesn't matter that we're having to squat down a little bit further. It's just more comfortable in the evening if we're using it more thoroughly, shall we say. So at night time, when our bed's up, we always put our toilet here, and obviously as a man I've now got to learn to sit down to have a pee. So obviously the table won't be there when the bed's there. Plug out, always remember plug out, have a pee, whatever we're doing, and actually it's quite comfortable. It's really nice actually. Yeah, I'll have to give it a good test when the video's off. Cool.
We would like to give Boxio a huge thank you for this opportunity to test their products. If you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up, and if you'd like to follow our travels and see the full review of this product in a few weeks' time, please consider subscribing. Thank you.